So welcome to day 2 of insulation, and today we're going to have a go at the floor. So I pulled the floor up yesterday, the ply floor. A few screws that I had to pull out afterwards, but I've plugged the holes now, so the tie down holes and the screw holes are all plugged. So today I need to just clean the floor up, and then put the battens around the threshold, so the back door and the sliding door, and then the insulation then sort of slides straight up to that. And then the fresh ply, the new floor, will go over the top of the batten and the insulation, so it'll give me a nice edge and obviously a hard edge to where I'm going to be walking in and out and that. I will cover that as well with some sort of plate, like a step plate or something, once I get to the finishing points. We're a fair few jobs away from finishing it right now. So yeah, so that's the plan. I'm just looking around going, I've got so much to do. But yeah, none of you are seeing what I'm doing on the insulation because there's so many comments on there. But yeah, it's getting there slowly. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But for now, what I want to do is fit the seal kit to the maxxfans as well, so that when I'm going down the road, they don't go whoosh and other such noises. So this kit provides a seal that goes around the edges of the maxxfan. So this is the seal, and these two are anti-rattle parts as well. So the seal fits around the lower edge of the fan. When it closes like that, it then seals against the wind. And these two strips go there on the side to stop the rain cover rattling. So the original spec of a maxxfan is that it has this seal on it. However, everything supplied within Europe and the EU directive, blah, 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 and UK doesn't have this, so that all ceiling vents are unsealed, if you like, so that they can be vented all the time, which does mean that they're noisy, and obviously they're letting air in. So if it's a windy night, they're going to let air in. If you're driving down the road, they're going to let air in. So I've done it on previous, just sort of like normal skylights we've had, and I put a seal on, and that's massively helped with noise and ventilation. So that's the seal fitted. This bit of the seal is already there, which gives you an idea of where to fit this little bit of a lip thing, because the seal's got a lip on one side. So I've just replicated that because the instructions don't tell you. And then I've just fitted this seal all the way around, having removed two pieces that were there. So these pieces were already stuck there, so I've removed them and then stuck this down all the way around. So that's the new full seal on, and these anti-rattle seals on both sides. So you can see now where that seal meets the lid, but at the back there it still doesn't meet the lid. So it does mean that the air coming through this vent can still get into there, and air from there can still get out. So it's just sealing essentially the leading edge, and those are the anti-rattle things as well that are there. So as long as the air's rushing this way as you drive in, then it's sealed. But if you're parked up and the air's blowing down the back, that isn't sealed still. So it's not truly sealed, unfortunately. You can see by there. In fact, I don't even know why that seal exists, because that inner seal there isn't touching the glass like this is. Floor cleaning time. Let's get this thing a little bit cleaner, so when I bond everything down, there's no contamination in there. This isn't going to come across on camera, but all this brown sludge, including little bits over there, it's coffee. This must have been a coffee delivery van. When I did the overhead cab, I found little pods like Mandy uses in an espresso. So yeah, coffee delivery van. So all I am smelling right now is different sorts of coffee. So you remember I said that this is not going to be a how-to instructional van build series. I stand by that, it isn't. However, I am going to give you a little bit of advice. And that is, if you're going to watch YouTube for people to see how they built their van, my advice is to make sure that they've built more than one, or that you've watched them travel in that van for a year or two or something like that, and that in that time they've not decided that they made a really big mistake, or something could be improved, and that you've not followed their original video, and in some time you'll be following their video that says, oh yes, I need to make some changes. So yeah, just a little bit of word of advice there. I think there's an awful lot of people out there making a video. So there's some people out there that were first to YouTube and make videos about van builds, and then other people built their van saying, oh yeah, I've copied X YouTuber in my van build. And then when you watch the video, they really didn't. Or maybe they thought they did, but they quite didn't. But they made a video about it. And they told everyone that they'd copied blah, blah, blah. So that other people go, all right, well, okay, well, I'll build it like you then. And maybe they perhaps didn't follow that person either, person B. And they develop their own version, version C. And it's not so long that you understand that there's many YouTubers out there all making van build videos. And yeah, they've all got variants of somebody else's van build video. So why would I bother to make a van build video when I'm not doing this from scratch? I'm doing it with prior knowledge of other ways I've seen people build a van, or I've seen companies build a van that I've lived in, and I've then gone to modify, develop, rip out, completely change or whatever. So yeah, that's why this is never going to be a van build series with me giving you instructions, apart from the little things like, the seals on the maxxfan, the easy to remove snap off security bolts for the bulkhead, little bits like that really. Other than that, I can't really offer anything that you can't find on the internet, and no offense, but I'm just on the same list and the same level as everyone else now, because I'm building a van that I'm building it to the sort of specs and ideas that I think is going to work based on the vehicles that I've had for the last 3 years and lived in. However, I've also watched other people online, and there's no guarantee at the end of the day that this is going to work for me. Anyway, I've cleaned the floor now, so I'm going to get the edge battens glued down, so sort of threshold battens if you like, so that as you step into the van you don't step straight onto the, what we calling this, insulation board, because they're all branded stuff. Mine's called Recticel, which yeah, I'm finding quite amusing, but there you go, because it's been an arse to deal with, just in case you were wondering why I'm finding it amusing. Anyway, so clean the floor, check, glue down the threshold battens, just going to do that now. Then I'm going to get some lunch, come back and glue down the what did I call it again, insulation boards, which hopefully should be a little bit easier, because the floor is flat, it's not bowed or anything like that, so I'm doing quite well on that, and it's almost perfect apart from the wheel arches. So I may actually lay out the boards and put the ply on top as a template, and then just make it from that. Less mess. So there's my batten that I'm going to glue down, and there's my insulation board behind it. I'm going to put the boards this way, so it's lengthways across the floor, so that any joins there are going to be at the back, and that's where my sofa's going to be, so there's no going to be high traffic areas on the joint between the boards. And as it goes this way, obviously my kitchen's going to be there, that way is going to be a toilet, and around the back there is going to be a bed, so where it finishes the bed's going to be there anyway. So yeah, that's the idea behind it, is to not put too many joints in high traffic areas, and that's pretty much the way I'm going to lay the ply on top as well, albeit I'll lay the ply slightly differently so that the ply edges don't end where these edges end as well. So I'll sort of cut them short a little bit.